Hi boys and girls, Miss Carol here. I have a story called The Happy Pumpkin that I wrote. I have some seeds. It's September. It's almost harvest time. Harvest time is when all the trees turn different colors. It's beautiful and all of the plants have finally matured like the pumpkin. It starts out as a seed, a pumpkin seed. You plant it in the ground, you need three things: dirt, water, and the sun. And in 100 days, you'll have a beautiful, big, round, orange pumpkin. And so let's listen to the story I wrote. I wrote it in 2013, and I've been reading it all across the state of Arkansas ever since. It's been a lot of fun. All right, here we go. This is the story about how America began a long time ago, about a pilgrim named Jack, who had a pumpkin seed to sow. He carried the seed in his pocket from England to the great Plymouth Rock. All the pilgrims rejoiced when their ship finally docked. In America, Jack would begin a new life. He would first plant the seed, and then he would look for a good wife. He'd look for some land close to the river. He'd plow and he'd plant, and then he would water. He prayed each day that the seed would grow. With the sun's help, soon he would know. He had a horse and a dog, yet he felt so alone. He'd look for a wife so he could give her a good home. He told his dog, Duke, he wanted a large family tree. With children, he hoped to someday bounce on his knee. But it seemed that no matter, a wife couldn't be found. So he continued to work on his small plot of ground. He'd simply have faith for what he could not see, for a wife and children as well as the seed. Sometimes the sun seemed a bit too hot, so Jack, he took care and he watered it a lot. Other times the winds and the storms brought much stress. All the pilgrims could starve if their crops failed this test. It looks like a small tornado is kicking up. Jack continued to work hard day after day, believing a miracle might still come his way. Then sure enough, the pumpkin started to sprout. Jack was so happy he danced all about. Soon the pumpkin grew into the finest plant anyone ever knew. Others gathered round to share in its delight, not taking for granted this marvelous sight. For Jack had promised to share these seeds from his pumpkin. His vision someday was to feed the whole nation. The pumpkin brought so much happiness that Jack named him Patch. But Jack should have known better than to get so attached. Because now taking the seeds out meant saying goodbye. And Jack, he just couldn't. The thought made him cry. Cutting out the seeds would bring his life to an end. For you see, now they had become the best of friends. Then the pumpkin patch whispered to Jack. He said, now there, my good friend, you've got to be strong. It's the best way for my life to go on. These seeds inside me, well, they should be shared with all others. Go ahead, pass them out to your neighbors. So Jack did as he was told. He shared the great gift with the young and the old. Soon he had more friends than he could have dreamed. Sharing can often make that happen, it so seems. A young woman watching, she just could not resist. She leaned up to his cheek and she gave him a kiss. For she had been praying for someone this kind, and she noticed that he was most generous, and she thought he was fine. Then she looked at the pumpkin, and the insides were bare. She carved out a smile with the greatest of care. Jack patted the pumpkin, saying, "I named him Patch." She giggled, and she lit up a match. Then she placed a small candle inside his smile to shine, and you could tell right away that Patch thought she was divine. He gave Jack a wink, and then she said, "How do you do?" Well, Jack shook her hand, and he said, "Oh, my name is Jack-o'-lantern. It's nice to meet you." When she started to leave, why, Patch, he pushed Jack to his knees, and still holding her hands, Jack said, "Will you marry me, please?" So, there was a wedding on that first Thanksgiving Day. It's funny how some things just work out that way. As the pilgrims gathered with the Indian nation, Jack held up his cup, and these words were spoken. "Let us be thankful for the gift of life, for our family and our friends, and now my good wife. The harvest is plenty, and we seem to be blessed with life and love and true happiness." Patch was delighted, you could tell by his smile. Soon you could see pumpkins and children's for miles. Patch was so happy you could tell he couldn't be better, for the magic of love had brought them together. The end. And that's my story called The Happy Pumpkin by Carol Dabney. You can find it on Amazon if you want to get your own copy and read it to your friends or in your classroom. And be sure and grab some pumpkin seeds that are delicious to eat. You can get them in the stores now, but you can also grow your own pumpkin. Cut it out of the middle of the pumpkin, and then you lay them out, you clean them up. You can put them on a pan with butter and maybe some cinnamon, and you roast them. Have your moms help you now. And they're a delicious, healthy treat. Oh, by the way, I have a song. And you know how the book is called The Happy Pumpkin? I have a song I wrote, and it's called The Happy Pumpkin. Ooh, ooh. So I want to sing, and you sing along with me when you hear the words Happy Pumpkin, okay? I took a pumpkin seed 100 days ago. I put it in the ground. Then I watched it grow. It grew and grew and grew right up from the ground. With water, earth, and sun, it grew big and round. Sing with me now. Here we go. hope you have a wonderful fall where all the leaves are changing and there's a wonderful, bountiful harvest to be grateful and thankful for. Until next time, God bless you.